Hello everybody, so I start playing Torchlight Infinite. I'm having a blast. The game is mixed reviews on Steam, but again, some of the things that, there are things that I kind of complain about, but overall I'm having a blast playing the game, especially when it comes to builds and stuff. I just enjoy the gameplay overall. So in this video I'm going to share with you one of my builds. Now my build evolves around both survivability, very high mobility, and just trying to trick enemies to not fall into their attack frame and continue dealing both damage over time and very high DPS, but just using my leap attack, which is my favorite one so far. It's just fun overall, that's why I use it. It's also really useful because you can really move fast across the map and you can do lots of fast attacks. And of course, this comes also some synergies that work very well if you're having a fast attack. So it's great against bosses, great against everything basically, and I'm doing really fine with it. And basically, again, the idea is having mobility. You can see that I'm just moving on the ground, leaving fire, and this deals high damage over time. Also give me shield. If you pay attention, when it gets to the peak of the damage, I'm going to get kind of a shield around me. It absorbs 50% of the incoming damage. And of course, if I have lots of it and many enemies, I'm going to benefit from it. And the other thing is that I can pass through enemies while doing so. And as you can see, I get shield, I just move, deal damage over time, just letting enemies just move through the flames. And I still get shield. And I can continue and dealing damage to them. I also have very high, you can see here I'm generating HP very fast. So if I disengage, I'm probably going to make it faster, of course. But basically, very high survivability. And good, by the way, resistance to different elements. Although it's kind of reduced lately for change, but overall, I have very good survivability. Again, I can move fast through the map, I can pass through enemies, I can get shields on the way, and I can deal lots of damage as well. So very high DPS. And I'm having fun with this because it's really fun to play with the leap. It's just fun. I just enjoy it. It just makes me laugh every time I do it. And again, when it comes to bosses, even though if they're very strong, it doesn't matter. I can really trick them by just passing through them. Especially those who are stationary are more likely to die very fast. And again, when they attack, when they see the attack animation, I just roll around, moving through them. It's good when you get stuck, by the way, in some way, and you just want to get out. And even then, we're going to continue dealing damage. So basically, I'm just kind of enjoying many benefits, kind of all in one build. And of course, I'm going to show you the build in a moment, but you can see it doesn't matter how enemies they are. It's actually better for me. The more enemies there are, the faster actually my attack becomes. Because if you see at the right, when I get in rage, which I need to increase, by the way, when I get in rage, my attack speed even faster. So again, I'm dealing more damage and my attack is faster. So the more enemies there are, the better this build scales. And this is another benefit for it. So, if there are many enemies, you don't actually suffer from it. You actually become stronger. Keep in mind that I haven't played this game that long. Only a few days since it was released. And I actually find, again, the build that actually I enjoy playing. And basically, it's just, I'm just going to demonstrate, as you see in the previous video. And I can actually make it faster. And why? Because I really have fun with it. That's the main thing. And it's good. So basically the idea was that if I do this jump, I can evade attacks. So I have actually great evasion without having even evasion on my armor, although I have, by the way. And I can move really fast with it. And of course, because it's fast and I hit a lot, it actually synergizes with other different things, including AoE and other type of melee perks. And basically I'm going to show you the build. So let's go into it. Keep in mind, if you have any suggestions, by all means, let it on. Give it to me and I'll do my best to improve my build even more. So these are the things that I'm using right now. Of course, this can change every moment when I go into those dungeons. And basically, I'm focusing on fire elemental damage and physical damage as well. But basically, my physical is mostly transferred into fire damage. And I try to amplify that. And because of that, I'm just going to show you the stats. As you can see, these are the main ones that I'm using. All right, this is my main attack. This is why I upgraded to the highest, in terms of energy, and unlocked everything here. And I'm basically using fire, as you can see. And these are the support one, that support my main. So amplifying the fire damage. This is also fire, again, because fire is amplified. I try to use it, of course, in all the other things. There's also other things like lighting. This is I use this one to, again, deal damage. Actually can pass through enemies, especially if there are many of them. And it allows me to even trick bosses, because he just pass through the boss and he just won't hit me. And it happens a lot. And while that, I'm putting fire on the ground and continue dealing damage to enemies. And it also gives me shield while actually doing so. So there are many enemies are getting lots of the shield that absorb damage, which is great. Both damage, protection, and ability to just pass through enemies and kind of have fun with bosses. So I'm very evasive anyway, but passing through enemies, sometimes you get stuck and you want to get away, you just do it. And again, enemies have their frame animation, so they're even more likely to miss you, and it's just fun. And this is very important for my build, because Bloodthirst allows to really buff my attack speed, and also charge my buff my attack speed and movement speed. And without this, it would be pretty slow, and this is really why I like it. As you can see here, while skill is active, take 4% of the sum of maximum life energy as shield, so it's also extra protection. And it allows me to reset, especially when attacking allied, which is something that I spend most time on because they have lots of HP. It allows me to even reset and refresh my ability. So I also put cooldown here and extend duration. All right. The other thing is this one, which allows me to generate. I need to expand this one as well. Basically generate mana, especially when I'm doing a very excessive attack. But at some point I get to a point where I'm gonna regenerate mana based on my armor perk that I actually probably won't even need it, but I'm not there yet. The thing is that my mana it's kind of limited, very limited, because I have sealed mana here to amplify even the damage, my fire damage. And basically, if you use those, some of them can be very punishing. You can see my mana is pretty low, 65% not used. Of course, I can drop it, by the way. I'm thinking about it, but not sure. But right now, it's working fine for me. And I'm getting this extra damage that I need. I don't even use my regular, by the way, regular attack right click. I don't even use it. What else? Yeah, the skills I showed you. So let me show you the talents that I use. By the way, here I'm going to respec it. I need to go over it. When I first did it, I just go over damage, but there are some things that I might change. And basically, I went after the buffs. But as you can see here, for example, I chose here this one, additional fire damage against low life enemies. This is very good. Depends on the build, just fit. So these are very, very powerful. That's why I unlock it. Damage ignores enemies' fire resistance. And this will be respec soon. But it's not bad, but I need to go over it again and decide which path to use. They can always visit it, so there's no problem. It's going to be free, by the way, to reselect until you get to 80. So until then, I'm going to get more idea of the build that I want. That's why they made it free. So you're going to make lots of changes anyway. Maybe you want to change your build, so it won't cost you to change it. So that's fine. So there's no rush for me to actually do it, but I'm going to respec it.
Who dares to face me?
Now, I still keep some things that I'm not sure if I want to change. Before that, I actually went with a shield that give me lots of extra survivability and just one-handed weapon. But the thing is that I realized that I can survive well even without that. And if you go to info of the character, by the way, I have something even higher. I just changed. It was actually 75 as well. But basically, I'm focusing on the ability to also regenerate lots of health. I'm going to show you, of course, the stats here in a moment. So basically, even though I don't have, for example, here higher or here, I'm still surviving very well. It's just the stats I'm going to show you quick. You can stop whenever you like. All right, if you have any suggestions, of course, let me know. Again, the faster I can eliminate the enemy, the less damage I'm going to get, bottom line. But I'm still focusing on survivability as well. So By the way, critical strike is great. I try to amplify it, but sometimes again I try to balance between survivability and damage as well. You see, regenerate 60 life per second. So I regenerate, if I disengage, I regenerate life very fast. Critical strike, gear armor, very high, for my level, relatively very high armor here. It's very good. And plus elemental damage. Melee damage. Again, my leap attack is melee and AoE. Evasion. I have pretty high evasion as well. So you can see lots of time that I'm actually blocking attacks. I'm not actually getting damage. Regenerate life per second, you see. So I'm generating pretty fast. I think if I get it to be very, very fast, I'm probably going to be invincible at some point. You see, also regenerate. And mana restored on hit. This allows me to, again, restore mana. So I want it actually to be, you know, remember the previous one where I show you that if I use it, it's actually lock the mana. So basically, if I regenerate fast, even if I have very, very low, I'm still going to be able to do what I want without actually worrying about anything. And you see life and mana regeneration speed. This is what it's important for me, because then I can use the other perk without worrying. So this is very good. Again, these are drops, so I think for the bosses. Evasion, elemental damage. Again, attack speed is also important for me. When I see one that has good stat and good attack speed, I'm probably going to keep it. Now, I also had other one with, I think, higher 95 elemental damage, but overall, when I check the comparing, I don't know where it is. Well, anyway, I check always the stats. So when I change things, I check the stats for my skills, so you see how they're affected by the change. And again, it's important for me to have a high DPS. Although keep in mind, for I tried both of them, by the way. By far, the leap attack is the best one. But the combination of terms of mobility, survivability, and damage, both of them working for me very, very well. Yeah, this one I'm probably going to change. I'm not using it right now. I'm just having fun with this too. But this will be dropped today, and I'm going to change it to something else. Just saying, I'm not using it. It's going to be dropped today. So overall, this build works very well. And by the way, energy, to unlock those, I need to have energy on the weapons. So also, I keep this in mind. You see energy. So sometimes I get something good, but the energy level is low. And I don't know if there's a way to increase the energy of already current low energy one. I don't know. I asked actually on the Discord, but nobody answered me. But basically, this is important because, again, sometimes the benefit you get from extra things, even if the stats here are not, are good, you're better off with another armor with higher energy that can unlock more synergies that overall can give you better damage. So this is my build so far, and I'm having fun with it. A lot of fun with it, actually. And yeah, continue playing it. Gonna make modifications today, but overall, I'm focusing mainly on this ability. Not the whirlwind. I know many like the whirlwind. I just love this one and having fun with it until I make another change. But this is my build for now. Again, if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. And again, this can really help. So again, thanks for watching, everybody. See you on the next one.